One of us is lagging. Okay, that was good.
I think we might be live.
Cool. So do you have a way to watch the chat without watching the video?
Yeah, the chats. I have a little guy right here.
Cool.
This is cool that I can share with you my screen. Yeah, that I can share. You can all see my screen even if I have just us up on the live thing right here.
Oh, neat. Okay. And then
So
I can see. Cool.
yeah, you can always basically see whatever is on my computer here, um, even if we're just streaming our videos. So cool. Hi everyone. Welcome. If you're watching this, we are going to be working on Mirage stuff today. So let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up. How you doing today, Ryan?
I am doing great. How about you?
Holding it down alone, in my apartment. That's there's nothing much new happening today, really. It's just another day in quarantine New York. I saw this really cool video go out. Um, that was like a fly through of Manhattan, and it was like empty.
Like the camera on the ground or
It might have been a
the camera?
drone or just camera on the
Oh,
ground, but it
wow.
was. I've been taking some walks. I haven't gone to Times Square yet. I went to the office, which is pretty close, so I should have just popped over there. But yeah, it's pretty creepy out. It's the video makes it look like it's literally The Walking Dead. It doesn't feel like that when you're out because there's still cars and you still see some people. So it's not quite as dramatic as like the movie with the filter made it seem.
Well, that's the thing. There, I saw something in Vegas that the streets and the sidewalks are just completely empty, but it was taken at like six in the morning, and so yeah, normally there'd be a few people out there, but it's
Yeah,
like they go too far and try to make it look empty.
yeah, exactly. Okay, now it looks like my cast is actually trying to share like. Okay, it says zoom to application windows. I'm gonna go ahead and uncheck that bad boy. There we go. Show primary display. That's what I want. Cool. Um, Yeah, exactly. So if you walk around during the day, yeah, it's eerie that it's there. All the most eerie part actually is that all the restaurants are closed. Like you're just, especially in
Mm.
my neighborhood, I'm so used to seeing, um, people out and about eating on the sidewalk and stuff, and that's just like everything's closed. To me, that's the weirdest part.
At some point, they're gonna have to shut off the lights for Times Square, right? Like that's got to be pretty expensive to keep all those lights on.
Yeah, the ads that no one's seeing
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, I guess now that there's all these videos of empty Times Square, more people are probably seeing the
That's
ads.
that's true. Also, apparently the Empire State looks like red and white. Could you see that from your place?
Dude, I saw a video this morning. I'm gonna go check it out tonight. There's like a siren on top that
Yeah,
like spins around.
yeah. It looks kind of insane.
I think if I saw that, I would be like, was there like a zombie outbreak in New York?
I know. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, I don't know if this is a really hopeful thing here. Okay, VS Code is struggling a little bit. I'm just gonna like close this Skype window and see. Okay, I think I'm gonna need to get a Mac Pro if we want to start streaming on the regs. What do you think
An
about that?
excuse to buy a Mac. An excuse to buy a Mac Pro.
And I think I need a 6K monitor because I don't think I have enough K pixels here to drive all this
Mm,
stuff.
cool.
Uh, nice. Things seem to be working. So, where did we leave off? Um, Originally, we had this plan of building this inspector, and then we wanted to build a tutorial, but we're going to start by just working on the inspector, basically. So I need to rename this route to inspector. But the tutorial is a harder use case because it involves like writing and rendering React components. This one is going to be a little more constrained because it's just going to let you edit this Mirage server right here and then like make requests and responses, kind of how the training went.
Mm-hmm.
So we had our stream like a week ago, and then I did a little bit more work, and I got some more stuff working. How do I do this thing here? So git log. Wow, yarn log. Yep, there we go. Config editor and database wired up. So I think I got this working
Mm-hmm.
using where is all this inspector stuff? Config editor, code mirror. Code mirror is really cool. Monaco's like has way more features, but this is super easy to get going. And then here's the database over here. So we've got the database tab, and there's Ryan and Sam. So if we come over here, we can just server.create user name Yehuda. He's got a great name. And there he is in the database tab. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think if we were to like create a new message, it would work as well. Yeah.
Cool. What happens? Sorry, can you go back? What happens if you don't create a message?
I think the database says the messages table.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Yep. Awesome.
So this is really simple so far because it's basically blowing this entire thing away and rerunning it every single time. Now, how did I actually do this? Because I think this was the first example of like serializing, the data. So we take this
right.
config. Let's just reload some of this in our mental cache here. I probably need to do this more than you because I know you remember this stuff, but I like forget how this works. So we have the config editor, and it takes a config input, which we default to whatever something is in the file system here. On change, we set config input, okay. And then, so that's just some state there. You would think we would like, how does it make its way into the actual...
The iframe?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I think every render, we use config input here, and we build the source doc.
Nice.
And then we pass that into the sandbox. And so the sandbox over here is basically an iframe that renders source doc. So it's really, I don't know why I called it sandbox. It's just an iframe basically. Oh yes.
Yeah, I like it.
I guess it's because it's a sandboxed iframe. And it like we don't actually care about the rendered output. We care just about the Mirage server in memory. So then,
right for this, right? Okay,
Yeah.
because we're not displaying any React components or anything.
Exactly.
Cool.
And then we should probably move some of this stuff in here, but right now I think some of it is still here. So we have like tutorial snippets, I think. Tutorial assets, iframe shell. So this is the guy that is getting rendered in like a no invisible place.
Hey, I have a quick question. Why did we make this a MD file with the HTML code brace?
Because I need to get it as a string.
And you do this from like the content mesh?
Yes. Exactly. Tutorial. What is it called? Tutorial assets.
Yeah.
I add it right here as another
Okay.
source file system so it can be queried. And then it's basically just this query that grabs all the files that match this path, and I can get their contents. So this is just how I got them as a string. And like I don't want them to be executed anywhere either.
Okay. Okay, we can. I get what you're saying. We can make these JavaScript files, or but you don't want them to be Java. They need to be like HTML. Gotcha.
I mean, we could make it an HTML file as long as we basically want to ignore it from the perspective of like, we don't want VS Code to like try to actually run it. Remember, this is I basically copied what we did for like some of the homepage snippets. And the reason I think we landed on this is because when they were actual JavaScript
Like
files, yes.
Gatsby makes like actual pages for them and stuff.
Yeah, or like it was trying to import something and we were just writing an import example, like, oh, hypothetically, Mirage.js. And it's like, oh, we can't find that. So we were like, it kind of is like conceptually, these are strings. And so where we landed was markdown files with code fences so that the formatting and stuff works.
Okay. I the reason I ask, I've been doing a bunch of Gatsby file transforms this week. And so I'm like, oh, I know how to handle this. I think we can make this HTML, but it's not important. It's not something we need to do now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try it next time we need another file.
Yep.
But yes, I totally agree, especially considering that like we're going to have an examples directory eventually that's going to drive some of these, and we want people to just click on an examples folder and see like a JavaScript file.
Yeah.
For like the starting input or whatever. Okay, cool. So then it renders the sandbox, and then this is the sandbox right here, the shell, and this guy uses Plunker to get all this stuff wired up. Takes the input as app.js, and then it sends a message. It imports
very
the
cool.
server here, and then it sends a message using post message with a dump of the database. So this is like our first baby step towards like a serialized Mirage server. Like eventually you could imagine this being like just server.to JSON or something like that. But right now it's just the Mirage database.
So I guess the next thing is we should see what it looks like if we want to send a request to the server.
Exactly.
Right. So you've got the server initialized, you've got seeds working, and you've got the initial database coming between the sandbox and the client.
Exactly. And so we'll need to send another like Mirage DB message if we start making requests and mutating things, which we'll do like right here. And then, yeah. So
cool. So like,
yeah.
UI for the request maker. You have any ideas there?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, the Romantic, I think it's called Romantic Kepler.
Yeah.
This is the UI from the training. And yeah, you can just choose a verb. You type it in, you hit enter. So yeah, this is what we ended up with for the training.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Did you copy any of this from Postman or what are the visual HTTP clients these days?
I asked on Twitter, and there was a bunch of good answers. Like a bunch of people feel strongly about their HTTP clients that they use. But there's some good ones. But I felt like the UI was actually pretty like. I used it as inspiration of what elements I needed, but I ended up, yeah, I mean, just keeping it really simple, I guess. But those things are like pretty complicated, I guess.
Side note, I noticed this just happened to you, and it's been happening to me. When you Google things in the Chrome address bar, like movies pop up as the first result.
Really? Post
now.
Menu. Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
oh, yeah. Look at that. That's weird. I guess most people aren't building websites. Most people are searching for.
It's really strange.
Yeah, something like this. I think the biggest change here with a lot of the ones that I looked at. What was the other one? Paul. I used to use Paul back in the day. Paul HTTP. These have like a lot of things about like you have a history of the request you made on the side. And I do think there's going to be
Which
something.
could,
It's totally useful
yeah,
for us.
yeah, because oh, I want to see this. I want to see now what happens when I do a post. Oh, I want to rerun my get and so on.
Exactly. So that's pretty cool. And then like they also do these crazy versions of like JSON viewers with like trees and stuff, which I also think will be important eventually because like if you look at this thing and we go to like I don't even remember which one, like a JSON API example, and we get like users, it can be pretty crazy, right?
Yep.
So it would be nice to have this like collapsible. But I think instead of trying to make something that looks like this, we would just try to do something that's like the object expand stuff that like Chrome DevTools have. And Svelte
I was
does
gonna
this
I was
too.
gonna say yeah.
We should just copy everything Svelte does.
Yeah. Chrome DevTools is a good example because that's probably what folks are used to.
Yeah. If you do this object one or whatever,
Hmm.
and you look here in the console, then like he has this built right here. So this is pretty sweet.
Oh wow. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you could have like a little expand all, collapse all kind of thing. So I don't know exactly how he does this, but this is pretty awesome.
Nice.
So, but I think baby steps, this is fine to start, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
All right.
let's just start building this.
Yeah. The drop down text input and button.
I think I can just grab all this. See how this goes. So we have request maker over here. Request maker. Okay. So let's make a new component. Yeah.
Yep.
Inspector dot request.
What is this? What are these dot components?
Me not wanting to re-import everything. Export default function. Return. I was watching the Redwood thing, the intro tutorial video.
Hmm.
It's pretty interesting. It's like 2 apps, legit.
Oh, you write the server in Redwood as well?
You use a monorepo and you have API and web. I was getting flashbacks, man.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always said it's conceptual, it's one app, and it sucks that it's two.
Yeah.
What are you?
Oh, import React.
Oh,
What's going on here? Let's get back to our.
oh, I think can you have SVG in JSX?
Oh, I just didn't import this guy. Right here. Export default as request from request. Yeah, I just did this so I can just import inspector right here. All the named exports from index and then just call them off of inspector. Redwood also does the alias thing, so I felt a little
Cool.
vindicated where they let you import from like source top level.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm not the only one annoyed by like all the static imports, Okay. This is something that annoys me. I wish I could zoom in. Actually, I guess I can do this. Okay, let's try getting this guy back.
Oh, class. You have
I think I'm
class.
missing a div. Let's do this one thing at a time. Hold on, we can do this. This is matching. This is matching. Button, button. Div, div. I bet it's
It might be.
span, SVG, SVG. Is it like path?
Is it class?
Class name should give us a.
Oh, it should give us a runtime error.
Yeah. It's saying that there's no closing div, but select, option, option. Let's start commenting out these guys.
Yeah, delete the inner stuff.
Okay, there we're getting our class name. Okay. Expected corresponding closing for input. I knew it was a self-closing issue because the DOM can just do a single tag, but JSX can't. There we go.
Let's go.
Look at that. HTML. It's portable. Who knew? Sweet. That's an aggressive focus style. Let's go full screen here. Why does this look so bad? Let me pull this open like this. I need 10 monitors in order to do this job. That is aggressive.
Yeah.
I think it's because my blue is like different or something. Tailwind config blue. I don't know where these are coming from. Must be different.
Where do we use blue on the Mirage website?
Good question.
Oh, in the ape
the
guides. Yeah, there's a link. There's blue links. Yep, exactly.
I'm kind of surprised if I would have customized that though. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, cool. Let's fix some of this stuff. So, request maker. Tutorial. Request maker. Request maker. This was like background gray. I kind of like that treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a... We do have a 50 here. Let's stick with 100. And what about this border here? Was that on this guy? We need a Z index. So background gray. Here's the border. We need this guy to be relative, I think. And then I don't like that I don't feel confident about this kind of thing. This is the client. This is the wrong one.
Well, what? Or just how to lay this out?
How I'm doing the border here. It's let me undo this here, and I can explain. First, let me get this up. The inspector. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put this down to the bottom. And so we have a border here, and I put this background on this, and it covered it up, right?
Hmm.
So the shadow is coming from this guy. Okay, so I think I just need to make this guy relative.
Yep, and give him like Z10.
I guess he doesn't even need that. Whoa, someone's ringing my doorbell. I'm not sure what that's for. Let me go. It's probably a package. My setup is so precarious right here. Hopefully, I just didn't let in a stranger in my building.
You just let the coronavirus into your.
I already got my food delivery. I'm fooded up. Cool. And we want this guy to be the full height too. I thought we had already set that. Wait, it's messed up again. Oh, right here. So shadow, relative. There's a term for this that Adam was teaching me. I can't remember what it is. It's like once you add relative for the Z stuff to work itself out, you know? I don't remember.
I have a question. So you added relative, but you didn't have to add a Z index.
Yeah, because it makes it into you establish a new containing block. So when you set position relative on an element, you establish a new containing block. All positioning inside that block is with respect to it. Setting Z index on an element inside that block will only alter its layout with respect to some other elements in the same block. So basically, this guy, these guys are siblings, right? Check this out, right here. They're siblings. So by default, I guess like last one wins or whatever, right?
Yep.
So if I had taken, if I took off this shadow, or relative rather, right? And I come down here and I add a shadow.
We should see that overlap.
Exactly. And there it is. It overlaps on the top.
Oh yeah, very cool.
So,
okay, so what does relative do?
So relative makes it a new containing block. Let's see here. Computed, show all, Z index. So Z index is auto. And when I add relative, Z index is still auto. Something about the Z index only works on positioned elements. So absolute, relative, fixed, or sticky, and the default is like static or whatever, so it doesn't work. So what is Z index auto, basically? So I bet if we were to add...
I guess what is a containing block? Like that's...
Right. If we were to add here relative, now this guy wins because they're both auto, but this one's later. And so now I could use Z index, and I could tell this guy... let's see if we made him Z0 if he would win. Z0 doesn't win, but Z10 wins. So maybe auto is like everyone 0, but it doesn't have an effect until you're positioned. So once you position, you basically get, the equivalent of 0.
I guess why is giving the first sibling relative make him overlap his siblings?
Because now he's Z0. And so he has a Z. Whereas if you're not positioned, Z is doesn't do anything. Z index by default is auto, but it doesn't actually have an effect unless you are a positioned element. So without any positioning, last element wins. But but it's like spades, the trump suit or whatever. Like a positioned element trumps an unpositioned element every time.
Okay, and then
once siblings are both positioned, then you go to the Z index to figure out who wins.
Okay, but there's a middle state in between those two, which is you have two siblings, neither are positioned, but one is relative, and the relative one wins.
No, relative is positioned. Relative is position relative. That's what the relative class does, right? So
okay, I'm not okay.
When I said positioned, that's what I meant. So the position CSS property can be these. Absolute, fixed.
I see. So relative
and relative, and it's by default it's static, which is like unpositioned, basically.
Okay, so just to repeat back what you said, we're first going to use positioning to decide um, who overlaps who, relative being the highest one, at least in this example. And then if both are relative, we then go to Z index to
Yeah,
figure out
I
who
think I would
wins.
rephrase it. The first part, we first use positioning so that we can actually stack elements in a different order in which they appear in the DOM. So with statically positioned, which is another way of saying unpositioned elements,
Hmm.
um, last element wins. That's like the default for
Yep.
DOM behavior. So if you don't want that, you now need to position elements. So then you can do that by adding relative if you don't want to change the appearance in the normal document flow. Or you can use fixed or absolute or sticky if you want other behavior, right? But any one of those
Ah,
four values for position now creates what's called a containing block, which for the purposes of stacking takes precedence over all unpositioned elements, basically, right? Or siblings, let's say for now. So,
yeah. Yep.
so disregarding Z index at all, a positioned element will beat a sibling that is unpositioned every time, regardless of which order it comes in the DOM.
Okay, and then relative lets you change the positioning, but keeping the behavior of the default.
Exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly. Because like absolute would like make this take it out of the flow, and it would start moving it
Yep.
around and stuff like that.
Yep. Sticky and fixed would do those things. Yep.
Exactly, exactly. So, um, yeah, this is also important for like absolute positioning, where when you do absolute top zero, it's the positioning is relative to the nearest
Well,
position
it would be
ancestor.
right. That would be like containing box, right? So
Exactly.
I cool.
Exactly. And if there is none, then it would go to the whole window. But that's why you can add like that's why when you add like absolute here and then you add relative to the parent so that you can actually like hug the left. I actually just did that in the Tailwind training where you add like a little SVG inside of an input.
Ah, nice.
So cool. That always helps to try to explain it. Actually helps you learn it a little bit. So it seems like if what we're saying is correct, relative lets this guy win. Now, if for some reason we had to make this guy positioned, then we would lose again. So I think what Adam does sometimes is to be a little bit more like intentional here.
Like relative and then Z10.
Exactly. Because conceptually, this is kind of what we're saying.
Ah,
Like this
yep.
header, it lives above this. And now, no matter what we need to do down here, it will never lose this shadow, you know?
Hmm.
Um, like a drop down shows up or something like that. This is another cool thing too. Like let's say that we make this button right here, like a drop down menu, but let's say this was a custom drop down menu too. We would always want this drop down menu to like go on top of this one, right? Because it's conceptually on top of it.
Hmm.
So if we were in the second block right here and we started doing things like, div.z50, well, because this guy and its parent is Z10 and the sibling, or Z0 and the parent and the sibling is Z10, this 50 will never be anything inside this div,
Okay. I mean, that
which is
sounds
awesome. I
actually
mean, it
sounds
makes
great.
makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah. The only time that would be frustrating is like when you're editing some like nest of HTML and you just want to get the thing on top and you
Yeah,
can't.
I think
But
that's where
but
like portals are good for because you get to escape the tree that you're in
ah, that's a great point. Yeah. Yep.
because you could be
And
bound by your ancestors containing box, in Z index, basically. So it's kind of interesting.
so portals truly let you escape because there's I guess HTML situations where like you can't, where your parents will like always keep you contained.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
If I do a Z10 and I give you a Z0, there's nothing you can do inside here unless you do like position fixed or something like that.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. So I think I actually want to circle back because we were pairing the other day and he said something like this. Like he's like, that's not exactly how I would solve this problem. I would do something like this, and it was like literally almost exactly the same issue here. And so I need to circle back and make sure I got that right. But I think that was the idea, is that you go ahead and set up the context ahead of time.
Nice.
I'm wondering why my quotes here are not prettier-ifying to double quotes. I don't know. It's weird. Did I? Oh, I added. I don't know. Oh, prettier's not working right now. Means something's wrong.
Yeah.
Problems. It's weird.
Yeah, you usually get like a build.
Huh. I can't work without prettier. How is prettier not working? Isn't that confusing?
Can you open like a random file? Oh, no. Can you just open like a random file that we haven't been editing and try to do something and see if prettier runs?
It's not running. Let's restart. Like modals, exactly, Beth. Yep, that's exactly right. So yeah, it's interesting, right? Because there's some UI issues where you actually want to be bound by your parents, because like if it dropped down in the parent menu.
Oh, you're used to restarting Gatsby?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We had some lag. I think you have to restart code for prettier.
Oh.
I know your instincts are just to restart the dev server.
That's true. That is true. Yes, I should be able to verify prettier works without having to run everything, right? Okay, there we go.
Cool. Weird.
Look at that. Ah, so much better. It's like taking a shower. Yarn log. That's a new one. That's the first time, I gotta say. It's the pandemic. It's really throwing me off. Yarn log. Everything should just go through Yarn. I was looking at that Redwood tutorial and they were like, all right, and now you can just see here to say, you say Redwood dev or whatever. And I was like, why wouldn't everyone just use Yarn start for everything now?
Yeah, well, I find it funny that we have like yarn dev, yarn start, yarn serve.
It's all Yarn start for me. That's the only thing I refuse to type anything else. All right, we learned a little bit about CSS today.
You're getting a little laggy for me.
It's probably just going to clear up once this server starts. Got to make those GraphQL queries, you know?
Do we still have the thing in package JSON that clears out the cache?
Yeah.
I think we can get rid of that.
Maybe we don't.
No, I think we did get rid of that. Okay, cool.
Cool.
The cache is pretty good for stuff like this. I mean, it is annoying. It does go wrong, but it is helpful.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this guy to fill the space here. So this guy is flex call. This is this. So I think this just needs to be flex 1. And it'll take up all the rest of the space. Yep. So request right here, right? Flex 1. Now these colors look way better over here because we changed the gray. So I'm gonna change this a little bit. First, I want a border on my input. Wrap this. I'm surprised there's no border. Oh, the border is around. It's the shadow. This whole thing is the input? Oh, I guess that makes sense. So how do we lose this border here? Shadow small. Shadow small. Now I'm really confused. This is not even doing anything. Where's this border coming from? I bet I know. I think it's coming from Tailwind UI. Form input. Border.
Mm-hmm.
Input. Form input. Do we not have that installed? I bet we don't. Do you know about form input?
I do not.
There's another thing. You should watch the training when it comes out. Oh, we do have it. Form input. We're not using Tailwind UI on this project, are we? No, but we are using custom forms. So this is a this is a really cool. If you're writing forms with Tailwind, you should use this basically. It makes the form inputs look the same across browsers and makes them easy to style with utilities, basically.
Cool. How does it do that? Is it like a bunch of reset classes?
Yeah, a bunch of resets, basically. Yep. Can you see this on my screen? I think it's hidden from the screen.
Yeah, I can.
I wish I could kind of see our faces over, like in my main screen right here a little bit, but that's okay.
I think there's a way you can make our Skype faces float.
Oh yeah. Oh, interesting. All right, I'll deal with this later. Okay, so we do have that, but like I feel like, okay, border color E2, E8. I'm guessing this is coming from whereas this is D2. So E2, E8, E2. So where is this coming from? E2, E8.
I mean, look, where is the Tailwind utils.css? Does this come with .form input?
Tailwind components. Form. Yeah, that's just because when Tailwind runs on our CSS file right here, it turns all of this into all the utilities basically.
Yep.
When post CSS sees this.
Let's pull up the GitHub for Tailwind form. Custom and whatever that thing was called.
Yeah.
I already forgot the name.
I want custom forms. I want where this E2 is coming from. Okay, so yeah, it's the 300. Okay. All right, I think we can just override this. I think that's how it's meant to be. I think what I'm confused about is here the border is D2. And I don't know why. Maybe it's a different version of custom forms or something. You know what I'm saying? So what the form input class does is it adds, you can see right here basically everything it's doing, right? It's giving it a sensible default and it will look the same across browsers and on mobile. And there's like so many things that go into that. One of them is just giving it a default border here so that you can override it. And I'm just kind of confused. I'm just kind of interested like to figure out where
the D2 value is coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's pull up the docs or the GitHub for this project and see if we need to set like a default gray or something.
But look, D2 is not even custom forms. D2 is not even part of Tailwind.
Yeah.
Default colors.
You would. Okay.
And I don't think. Oh, maybe I changed the default colors in domain modeling. Let's check. Why would I have done that? Oh, maybe because... Oh, okay, I think I did do this. Okay. Wait. No, I ended up commenting them all out. You know what? It must be... Tailwind CSS UI must change it. That's what it is. So they're changing the color palettes. Customizing colors. New color palette we've included is designed to make colors much more interchangeable than they were in the past. Okay, that's fine. Not too worried about it. I just wanted to understand why. Does that make sense what happened?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I'm more curious about if you wanted this gray to be a gray that's in our Tailwind config, How would you go about setting that?
Right. E2, E8. Wait, it definitely should be. That's weird. Yeah, good question. Yep, that's the right question. Interesting. Because you would expect it to use like your themes colors.gray customizing.
I mean, can it?
You
Like,
can customize the default styles applied by this plugin in the custom forms default section. Each form element can be customized under input, blah, 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 input. Oh, background color. Yeah, theme colors gray 200. See the default options used. Input, border color, default color theme, border color default.
ah, okay.
But how's our border color not using...
Well, let's find out what the default border color is.
It should be like gray, colors gray 300 or whatever.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You're basically saying that like every color should keep going back using like some syntax like this until it hits the themes,
exactly.
like 300 or something.
Exactly.
Let's verify that though. Let's go to Tailwind docs and look at what the default border color is.
Yep. And we do have like Tailwind does run. We don't have to like rebuild Tailwind manually in this project, right?
Correct.
We didn't send our own border color in the theme. Default configuration. Border color. Yeah. Theme colors gray 300. So like why is it not using CAD? That's my question. Because if I were to just throw a border on here, like let me just throw a border on. Oh, it has border transparent. Oh, that is border color. Look at that. So if I just throw a border on, check that out. It's and I look at the border color. It's CAD. Oh no, that is correct. Oh yeah, that's actually darker. Check that out. All right, now I'm getting really confused.
Do we have the latest version of the form thing, the custom form?
Good question. Custom forms 021. Let's check it out. Custom forms. Tailwind CSS custom forms. Yeah, because it'd be nice. The default styles are supposed to work with your theme, and it makes it nice to work with. 021. Okay, but wait, we can figure this out here. Beth, not using Tailwind UI on this project yet. Just using Tailwind, but we did customize gray right here. But I think all of these things should be pulling from this gray right here. And actually right here, I can see when I add a border to just random text up here, we actually get computed border color. I wish this wouldn't show it in RGB. It's annoying. But it's CAD, so it is using our thing right here. But let's just do something. I'm just gonna do a test really quick. Go over to request.
Hey, I have a weird. When you get a second, I have a weird question that's related to like node module loading. So our theme our theme file, our Tailwind config, in order to build the theme, we're requiring Tailwind custom form, right? So, like, we're requiring this before our theme is even built. So how
but
can it?
Because we just saw how, because
No, I think this is we're requiring this file before our config has exported. So how can it know what our?
Also, it's not even looking at our theme. It's just pulling in the default theme right here.
Yep. And I guess this makes sense, because how could it know if this file is required to build our theme? How could this file read our theme? There's like circular dependency logic.
Well, a lot of the options here in Tailwind let you do things like this, where you can specify a function that takes in the theme. So I was thinking that the custom forms did something like that. Let me ping him. It might not even be. Question: Should form input class from custom forms plugin use my themes gray 300, or does it just use default? In any case, I think the solution here is just going to be like specifying ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just going to look. And this is what the plugin is supposed to make this. It's part of the point. It's supposed to be pretty simple. So I was just surprised that. Yeah, it has to be from the custom form. So I think we can just do like border 300 here, or sorry, border gray 300. Yeah. Yep. Request. Cool. Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Nice.
I want this to be darker too. Form select, text gray 500, so text gray 600. Cool. I like this icon.
Which the
double.
Yep.
I think that's right here. No, that's the triangle.
Look at the select.
This comes from. This is also a default.
Form select, is that? Let's look at that.
Exactly. Background image. It's weird, right? It almost feels like we have a different version of the thing, but how can I possibly see this? Is it possible to view this? Oh, there it is. So that's weird, because over here, if I check this out and go to select and look at form select and open this in a new tab, we're going to see this guy. So that's just
you're a little laggy for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a keep going.
Okay. Yeah, the icon is right here. But I just don't know why we're not getting the right one. You know what I mean?
Why don't you pull up the training and see if we like customize that?
Oh, maybe I did. Oh, you know what? Good call. Because I was copying from Tailwind UI. But then you would think it would be, yeah, that must be it. I'm not going to see anything in the training because it's all coming from Tailwind UI, I think.
Should we pull Tailwind UI into this? I mean, is there any downside?
A lot of changes to Mirage's site because it
introduces global like reset stuff.
yeah, it changes like a lot of the Tailwind config basically.
Hmm. I mean, do you want to make a utility that just include? It looks like this is like a background image that's an inline SVG.
Yeah, I think this thing makes it even easier. I think we can do it right here like
Oh,
this.
oh, yeah, awesome. Okay.
So I just need to find that thing, but I'm just kind of curious what the markup looks like here. Yeah, select. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Um, let's see if we can grab this guy. Select. Open a new tab.
By the way,
View
I think
source.
that's pretty. I think that's really cool that you can customize the icon in the config file because normally it's like you got to find some place to put this SVG on disk and import it, and
Yeah.
it's really low friction.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally. Theme. Custom forms. Theme. Default. Select. Icon. SVG. Viewbox. Oh boy. Wrap this bad boy real quick. Viewbox. Fill none. Path. Stroke. Comma. Yeah, it's the first time I've customized the custom forms thing because I haven't built a ton of form heavy stuff yet with, with Tailwind.
Hmm.
So it's pretty cool. Did it recover? Yes. I wonder if I need to restart custom forms.
By the way, are we sure? Are we sure that that's the right one? The one you just copied? We don't know what that actually looks like.
Yeah, I copied it from this.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you copied it from, never mind.
Like I copied the fill none stroke.
Oh, don't we need a fill? Just try fill red to see if anything shows up.
Default custom forms theme custom forms default select icon. I don't know if let's just try to restart. Adam says it just uses a default at the moment. Hard to decide what I should do. Gotcha. Yes, I do think I do want to do current color. Thank you, Beth. Man, we got our wing woman here just looking out for us. This is great. Can you see the comments, Ryan, by any chance?
Yeah. Yeah. I just pulled them up. That's awesome. Thank you, Beth.
So, yeah, because you basically want it to match, like, actually, how did it look over here? I guess it's a little bit lighter. It's almost like you want it to match the placeholder color. All right, we should see something red now. Make it red. This is so annoying. It's like I know Gatsby is doing something with our SVGs to optimize it every single time, and I just don't care, and I don't know how to stop it so it's faster. Okay, well, now we're seeing something there different, which is good, on the right path here. And I'm guessing it's... Let's try taking away the red thing here. Go back to none. Also, I'm just going to actually try this. Save this.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just going to paste it into Figma.
Is there like, yeah, I was gonna say, is there like an SVG playground you can throw that in?
We're flying blind.
Oh God, live streaming with code and Figma open. Goodbye.
My computer is...
I don't even think the Mac Pro is going to be enough here.
My computer is essentially getting coronavirus right now. Just lives, years of life taken off. Poor thing. All right, there it is. So it should look something like that.
What is with the triangle?
I do not know.
That gives me no confidence. All right.
Maybe Hero Icons has this. Let's check. Because now we can actual clean SVG here. Wait, they should have it. They should have it because... Yeah, right here. Boom. Okay. There we go. Boom. Fill current color. Oh, do you need to set the width and height? I'd love to see how Adam did this.
By the way, this is what Beth was saying. So
Yes. So listen to Beth. SVG, stroke, fill, none. I don't know if you set the width and height. Oh, no, because it's a background image. Wait, if I literally just copy this and I find select right here. Yeah, look at that. It works.
cool.
Except not cool because...
Wait, it's not. Sorry, your screen's like really slow for me. It's not working with
I
the
pasted
defaults.
Yeah, I think we do want to use this. Maybe I should keep it with like this XMLNS thing, just like everything right here. Let's try this one. I don't know.
What was wrong with the one that you copied from Hero Icon?
I just don't. It has the current color thing, which might be what we want, but it also has. It's made for like being used with like class width 8 and height 8 and stuff like that. So,
But we can get rid of that because that's not. Does that work if we get rid of that?
yeah, let's try it. Oh, there it goes. I think it needed this XMLNS thing. To honestly, that's the only thing I just changed.
Okay.
Huh? I don't know. See, this is why you should use Tailwind UI because Adam's already done all this stuff. Oh, look at that. It's getting cut off. That's funny. That's weird. Oh, man, my computer's having a hard time.
Yeah.
Is it laggy for you?
Yeah. I'm going off a vocal narration here.
Wait, really?
I can see it eventually, so I eventually catch up.
Got you. All right, the iframe is actually taking up space, so I think we want to make this guy hidden. So let's come over to our sandbox and go ahead and make this guy hidden. All right, we're getting there, everyone. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Any reason over hidden over like height 0?
I don't know. Hidden might save the browser even more work. What's up, Eric? How's it going, man? I don't know. Hidden is like it just tells the browser it's visually hidden. So, yeah.
Okay.
It might even save it from rendering it. Where if it was like height 0, it might still have to calculate the width. I don't know. It's just that's what we want to do. We want to hide it. You know.
Cool.
Sweet. Okay. We're cruising here. We're cruising. Still aggressive focus styles. I guess we can change that now too, and we probably know why. Focus.
Can you do like a focus group? I don't even know if that's a thing, but
I think we just need to override it. Where is that focus? Let's do hover state. Focus. Border color. Okay, so it's just border color. So I think if we do request get right here, and we on the select guy, border color, border blue. Let's try like 200. So does that mean that default blue is also coming from? Oh, we need to focus. Coming from the custom forms plugin, and it just looks very bright because our grays are so different. That's kind of surprising, right? It looks
Well,
it looks different.
we also customize our blues, right?
Yeah. It actually looks like there's an outline here. It looks like there's both an outline and
Yep.
The border. Let's toggle focus. Outline none. Oh, no,
Box shadow.
Box shadow and border color. Box shadow. Border color. Okay. So there might be something else we're missing here from Tailwind UI. Okay, there is two. Border color. So there's a border and there's a box shadow.
Seems like the box shadow is a better approach. I mean, I guess this is really like a design question.
Well, they're layered, which is why it looks so nice. There's a 1 pixel, there's a thin border, which is a darker blue, and then there's a lighter shadow. But in ours, there's something wrong with the radius here. So if we remove the box shadow, you can see that there's something going on. Oh, it's the... You see how the gray is coming through?
Yep.
That's weird.
So where is that gray coming from?
Good question.
It's on the input. Isn't there like is it on form select? Let's look at form select. Yeah, scroll down a little on form select.
Border radius 0.25. First of all, the rounding is not even lining up. So I'm wondering if we need to add our own rounded, because this guy is rounded medium, which is 0.375, and this guy is rounded at 0.25. So first of all, the radius is not even correct. So let's fix that first. So 0.25 is coming from here. Let's look over here. This one is 0.375. So the question is, why is custom forms giving us a 0.2 whatever?
No. Whoa, hold on. Custom forms is giving us a 0.3.
Yes, and in the training. But in our app, custom forms is giving us 0.25.
Okay, in our Tailwind config, in Mirage's Tailwind config, do we customize border radius?
No. Nope. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, let's go look at form selects.
Tailwind CSS version 1.2. Tailwind CSS version 1.2.
Look at the docs for this helped last time, both the docs for custom forms, and see how form select gets built, like what default it's using.
Select border radius default theme, border radius default.
And we have no customization on that.
Not that I can see.
Oh, but wait. So this is using border radius default, but then are we using something like border radius medium?
Well, first I'm curious why the default is different here But yes, we are using medium here. So that explains why they're different. I just don't know why.
Yeah, get rid of rounded MD. Just change rounded MD to rounded, and they should be the same, right? That's I'm guessing.
There's like 3 roundings going on, I think. Let's drop. Oh.
Wait, what?
Background transparent. I think we actually just want to add rounded MD to this guy. No? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the same class of problem that happened before. I'm just a little confused why 0.25 is, I guess that is the default border radius. Yeah, that is the default. So the real question is how did it end up to be 0.375 over here? That's because I didn't customize that.
Also, too, you had rounded MD up.
Unless I did customize that. Tailwind config. No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I say we just fix it. Keep going. Select. We want this to be rounded MD. There's also a tiny bug here. Let's refresh, see how we're doing.
I think you only have rounded M. You need rounded MD.
Thank you. Three hours later, we've gotten the corners rounded. I mean, people who say they love CSS, this is the kind of stuff where I get confused by that statement. I like the result when I made something I'm proud of, but it also takes a long time to get there, you know? I don't know. Okay, we're getting closer. Yeah. Let's remove the box shadow and make sure this is okay. That looks correct. That looks correct. And so, what was the default if we took off this blue? It's like this brighter blue. 6.3b. I'm just curious where these are coming from.
Go to Tailwind Colors.
Oh, it's using 400. Okay, that makes sense.
No,
different.
No. Wait, hold on. I don't think it is. I think if you customize this, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to Tailwind Custom Forms config, we're gonna find some like default. I don't think is it gonna be default 400?
Blue 400. Default.
Okay.
Blue 400.
Okay. So your 400 is the same as the default then?
Yeah, I think I did this because like I just wanted us to only use these colors instead of also having like purple available to us and just add those back as we need them.
I see. Cool.
So I'm just
that feels like giving like a thing that was made for
just like just in case someone, I'm not exactly sure who, wants to come along and start using purple 900 instead of black
or
something like that. Okay, so maybe we go to 300 instead of 400. First, let's just get the rest of the stuff working. So, okay, we're getting closer. I feel it. Hover, state, focus, boom, boom. Okay, let's refresh, see how we're doing. Cool. I guess that is what it is supposed to look like. Let's see here. It's just that the colors are... Why are the colors like so much different? Okay, well, the inner one is lighter now than the outer one, which is why it looks weird. So let's go back to 400. that shadow is just not the same. It's just not. Neither is the color. I'm gonna have to look at this later. Like,
Did you
probably
custom?
pair with Adam later and ask, because like these blues are. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting, dude. I keep forgetting. Tailwind UI has an entirely new color palette. That's what's happening. So we keep looking at tailwindcss.com to see if we're using the default colors, but this app right here does not use Tailwind CSS colors. It uses Tailwind UI colors.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we just need to match this as best we can. That also explains why the default form select has changed, because the default radius probably has changed. See what I'm saying? The thing we were explaining before, why the select thing was 0.375 over here. That's exactly why. So okay, we're just gonna do our best to match this then. So okay, what about this shadow? Why is this shadow so dark? Let's focus this, and box shadow, form select focus is this thing, and it's just a little bit too bright. So how do we customize that? So select. I guess we can just look at this, right?
Yep. Default box shadow outline.
Got you. So we're just going to copy the new one. Actually, that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to grab this. Right there. And close that, go back here. Yeah, I think we can literally just copy this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Select. Icon. And focus. Box shadow. Boom. See if that works. Rebuilding development bundle. Drum roll, please. I don't even know if this is doing anything. Oh, it's moving again.
Wow.
Oh, there it goes.
Nice. Looking good.
All right, we did it. Okay, I'm also going to change. I think I'm just going to change the default outline too, because it seems like, where else do we use that? Like probably down here. But we already changed that one. So I'm just
tab. What happens if you hit tab on the homepage?
We haven't even done that. That's just using ugly outline. We need to fix that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to change this. So this is shadow. Shadow outline. So extend box shadow default black. Oh, this is not going to fix what I just saw, but that's okay. We'll do that.
At least it's going to normalize it though.
Yes.
So we have one outline
when we use
shadow outline.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then for these, we can go ahead and just do it for all these as well.
Yeah, I guess it's like, what is Tailwind 3.0 going to introduce all these things? Take all the things from Tailwind UI. Okay. Because at some point we're just going to end up, this file is going to grow massive with all those customizations that are not really customizations. They're just getting on Tailwind UI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yes, but who knows? I mean, it could be a year before the changes to Tailwind UI are rolled back into, Tailwind proper.
Mm-hmm. Do we have multi-selects?
I guess we would know if we didn't, right? Text area. Input. You're just worried about this file and like growing and stuff.
Yeah, we're not, I was going to say 6 months, but in 6 days we're going to open this and think, why did we customize this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the alternative is just use our theme that we have right now and make it look good with what we had.
Yeah, I do like this though.
Yeah,
Like these look great. Yeah.
right. It's like what is harder? Is it harder to like customize this, and or is it harder to make things that actually look good? And like if we can customize this, then the hard thing of making it look good we can offload to Adam and Steve basically.
I mean, that's the no-brainer answer there.
We should go to Tailwind UI. I think eventually. The reason I don't want to do it right now while we're in the middle of building this feature is that the whole site right now is driven by our own Tailwind config, which is mostly the default plus a little bit of extra. Like the gray palette is like the biggest difference. And Tailwind UI changes a lot of things about, and the font sizes and stuff. I mean, there's a good amount of customization, so it would just be a bigger project to like roll those changes in. But I think eventually we will do that.
Cool.
This is coming along, man. We're gonna get to write some React soon. It's gonna be fun. No more CSS. Start writing React. There's still a weird thing here in that.
Yeah, it looks like
the border color is still using the old one. So I think instead of doing it one-off here, we should actually just customize it by default in the custom forms config.
Okay.
So select, we made it border blue 300. So let's undo that. It's going to be this darker blue again, which we don't really like. Yep. I mean, is it really that bad? Maybe it's not that bad. It's a little dark. So we can come back up here, text area, select. And it's going to be the border color. Border. And I think we can use the theme here somehow. Oh, it's right there. Oh, okay. So we can do theme.colors.blue.300. And this can be... this should be able to be theme colors like box shadow or whatever. But let's get this one started. This is a lot better.
Yes.
Maybe this is the wrong theme. How do we get our theme?
Well, I guess.
Default theme. Wait, where did we see this? Let's look at the guides. Custom forms theme. Theme.
Let's console.log theme here and just see what we're working with.
It's a function. It's a function.
Wow.
I think we were looking at like, I don't know. Man, I truly hate, have I mentioned how much I hate VS Code? I can't, if I can't be a Vim ninja, why code? The Vim emulator is just, it's not up to snuff. It's not there yet. Okay, I think, wait. Can't tell if that fixed it. I don't think it did.
It still looks dark.
Yeah. Let's give her the old restart. You know how many node modules you can fit in this bad boy? Slaps hood of project. Once we get done with the UI, we're going to fly. So I was starting to think about this because I was like, it'd be really cool, once this database tab, we add some features to it and stuff, and like you could edit it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you could just hit type here and type this like this, so you don't have to like send a post request or whatever. Be pretty cool. So we'll have to have data going back and forth, because like the stateful server lives in the can I read property blue of undefined? Oh, whoops, I didn't replace this one. Yikes.
Let's let's see if you save this and Gatsby just rebuilds the app without a restart.
It's just annoying because I don't know if it's code or something, but like I don't feel like I get a lot of feedback. You know, and I can't tell
Yeah. Yeah.
if it's in a bad state.
Yeah, you might need a restart. Damn.
But yeah, if we were to change I should get a hookah in here. I could just hookah it up and then open the window, you know? What was I going to say? Send the database back to the iframe.
Right. You're saying you not only is it about getting the database out, but there's some way to put updates back into it.
Exactly. But like the source of truth is still the iframe, right?
Yeah. I think it's where the server lives. The source of truth is the server. We want the server in the sandbox.
Mm-hmm. So maybe it'll be as simple as like db.load data. Just like swap out the entire database.
Oh, yeah.
Because like there's no object references in there or anything like that. I mean, it's literally just JSON. So I think it can just be swapped in just to start to make it simple, you know?
Yeah. Or we could do something like we could create like a
query language.
Some sort of standardized query language.
That lets you send messages. Okay. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, it does. It looks dark. Oh, man.
I just want to win, man. I just want to win.
Oh, because we weren't using blue. We were using blue 200, weren't we?
Let's check.
I think we were. I think you edited the CSS and you removed.
Focus border. Oh, yeah. Border 300. Wait. Let's just see. Input, focus. 63B. Border color. What is border color? Oh my gosh. That's amazing. It's only Tuesday. We invented a new CSS property. Well, now I know how Adam's code works. Object.keys for each -8, you know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, cool.
This is boom.
Yeah, looks great. Can we write some React now?
Yeah, seriously. I think we might be able to. It actually looks a little light.
You know what we need to do?
It's because they're blue.
Can we fix the border on the right side?
Yeah, I know. I saw that too. Yes, let's do that. But then we'll do a GET request, so we'll be able to write some React soon. Gotta have those breaks in there. I don't like that. How close that is. Is that always how it was? Yeah, I guess so. No, it looks like closer.
Yeah, it does. It does look really close.
We can add more. This just should be padding on the input. Padding left 24. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, where's my... When things just don't work. Let's see if padding left 26 is a thing. No. Whoa. Anyways. Okay. Let's check out this button. Button. Who's got the button? You know what that's from?
No.
I think it's from Hook. Okay, the border's working. Button. Yeah, first let's get the Z index working. So focus within Z10. I think we need to add, yeah, this is why this makes me want to just like figure out how to get Tailwind UI in here, because there are so many details to get this stuff right, and he's just done it all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We need to, so this focus within Z10 is actually how this works. And it should make sense now after our discussion earlier, right? So
Yep.
it needs to be positioned for that to happen. This class is not doing anything right now because focus within variant is not enabled for Z index. So we need to go Z index, variants. This is like the biggest downside of Tailwind. You could, like, all this stuff could be like detectable by the code that you write. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was like a CSS and JS kind of situation.
Well, not only we have purge CSS on this project, so could we just? Is there a way we could opt into
Enable
all?
build the entire combinatorial map of all options enabled for everything. I think it's a lot.
Yeah, I guess if that like slows down our build times, that would be a problem. But that should all get filtered out by purge.
It should, in theory. Are you rebuilding the bundle? Who knows? Oh, there it goes. Boom, fixed it.
Nice.
Cool, right?
Yeah. How did you? Cool.
How'd I know that? Because I just did it for one of the videos for Tailwind CSS. The training. Okay, so now we have to figure out why this is not getting the shadow. So focus, shadow outline blue. So okay, this is going to be another. This is more new classes, but we only have shadow outline, but we just updated our shadow outline, so that should be, yeah, that looks great. Awesome.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. Looks pretty good, yeah?
I have one comment.
Okay.
The right side of the select drop down, when it's focused, has rounded edges, and the left side of the button, when it's focused, doesn't.
Well, I think that was a design decision because this is conceptually, I mean, this is literally a square right here.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, should this be a square right here?
And it's like not unless there, and you're saying not unless there was like a visual border right that was a straight line.
Yeah. Border, rounded, right, none. So it would look more like that. And we could add more padding here. So this is padding left. It is kind of fun, like, doing these little details, isn't it? Like, I didn't used to do this level before I met Adam, basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually feel like that
Yeah.
kind of feels a little off just
Good.
because
I don't know if I call it fun.
I feel like the square felt a little off since
Yeah.
it was not inside of it, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
Cool.
Can you add that padding? I actually like that padding.
Yeah, I know. Let's just go ahead and add it. It's fine. Padding. Let's expand all. What's this? Expand. Unfold all is Command K, Command J. That's not really intuitive, but whatever. Padding. Extend. Space theme spacing. Customizing.
Sorry, what are you trying to add? Are you trying to add a new padding value?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can just extend. Okay, I
Yeah.
think I can just extend. But I want to do it for spacing. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we
Okay.
go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, let's use our little pixel thing right here. So 18 times 16, 288. 288. 18 times 16, 288 divided by 72. So yeah, these are all 4 times. So I can say pixels is just 4 times 72. So it's 288 pixels, like that, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is way better. 4 times 15, 60. 14 times 4 is 56. The training is another training we're about to put out. It's getting edited right now, actually. 28. And it's from EmberConf, but it's not really about Ember. It's just about Tailwind. And so that's going to go up this week, hopefully, and it'll be free. I'll tweet it out. 96 times 4 is 384. 384. And so what we wanted over here was request padding left is 24. We want 26. I think 26 times 4. Again, this is 104. Wait, yeah. This is this is the biggest downside of Tailwind. You could imagine all of this just being done for you, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think we could make more like the PX utility, maybe like a Tailwind utility.
Oh, it just moved over. Did you see it animate over?
Oh, wait, because it has like a transition class.
Yeah, it slid. Okay, I think this is looking awesome.
Nice.
All right. Time to react.
Yep.
I'm going to commit this. 3 hours later, built a request input that we had already built and designed in another app. Styled request input, request form. Okay. Sweet. So, should we just look at this other guy or just do it from scratch?
Let's do it from scratch.
Do it from scratch. All right.
Looking at the other guy did not help in the last.
Okay, so we want to form around all this stuff, right?
Yep.
So let's figure out which one of these guys should be the form. Maybe this guy with flex MT1. Maybe we'll pull the MT1 out. Form. Hate that I can't match that. That's fine. We don't need to pull it out. Cool. Very cool. Okay, so we need. Let's start at what? Start at. Where should we start?
Let's we have a button. Let's just capture three things. This state, local component, 2 things state. So method and.
You just froze for some reason. I can hear you now, though.
Oh. Okay. Let's capture 2 things of state. So the method and the URL.
So input value equals URL on change equals set URL target dot value. Select value equals method on change.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to use value method. I think you're going to have to do conditionals on the options, but keep going because
there is an on change though.
Yep, there is an on change. So keep going, and then we'll fix that.
Method is it e.target.value?
Yeah. Sure.
The method is method the URL is URL. Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
And then we should, like, I guess this component, think about like the interface for it. So I think if we go back to like tutorial.js.
Well, here, let's fix this state here, because if we start off with patch, this select's not going to render correctly.
Ah, right. Okay. So get rid of line 16.
Wait, it did work.
Oh, okay. Maybe this does work.
React select element. I mean, that's pretty cool, in my opinion. I don't have to do it each over and check if it's equal to the current thing and set selected to true, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of using the selected attribute, uses a value attribute on the root select tag. It's more convenient. Boom.
Wait, hold on. Is this React or is this HTML?
It's React. 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, there is no value. I don't even think there's I don't even know if there's an on change. I think there's something else. There's one of them that has an on change that the native one doesn't have an on change, but they just give it to you to make it easier and more consistent.
Yep. I get that. I didn't realize they did it for value too. That is super cool.
Yeah. Cool. All right, that's it then. We're done with that part.
We're done with all the React.
And then button type submit is correct.
Yeah, I think at this point we should go back to tutorial and see how we want to invoke this thing. So I'm thinking like we'll have a, where is, you're in the wrong end.
You meant like right here, like actually look in the code to see how we handle it?
Yeah, I just want to kind of just paint scratch space some API stuff. But I think you're in the Ember app.
Oh, you meant back to sorry, I thought you meant back to the Ember app. I was confused.
Oh, back to tutorial.js. Yeah, this guy.
Got you, the parent component here. Right.
Yep.
Right.
And then like
rendering the request right here. So yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess, so I guess we're going to have like, yep.
This is going to send a message somehow. This basically needs to communicate.
This is going to take like for now, I think it should take a method in URL. Because and then we can just like console log these.
And so on form, we need a on submit.
Yep.
React, man, it's pretty cool.
And this is going to call, yeah. I know, it's really nice.
Prevent default. Cool.
And then does it work when you click the send button?
Yep.
Neat.
This looks weird. I feel like the background button the color should be like white or something. Background, gray 50. Yeah, it shouldn't be gray 50, I feel like. Background white. Maybe not. Maybe it's fine. Maybe the text should be darker. Oh yeah, the text should be darker. I think we changed the get over here to 600. I'm guessing this was 500. 600. Should change the icon as well. Boom. There we go.
Nice. Go to the Ember app for a second.
Oh, it has a hover background white too. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh, this one does that too, I guess. I think maybe it should even be darker, huh? Hover background. No, active background gray 100. I'm going to keep it 600. You know what's also weird about this? And it's sticking out to me more maybe with our fonts. It's like the font being different here, like the weight.
And
I wonder what it is. 400. So it's regular, normal, or whatever. All right, let's leave it for now. Let's get back to React. So, okay, we're getting this request in the parent here. So we have a handle message.
how do we send messages?
I think we use post message.
Do we have an example of that? We must.
Also, oh no, I was gonna say like, could we send a callback from the iframe that we can just invoke from the parent? But I don't think you can. I think you have to use post message.
Yeah. We should do message passing here.
Okay.
I think to start. Yeah. So do we have any examples where the client communicates with the iframe, or does the client
think the
just?
only way it does it is this part right here, which is updating the source doc.
And then that kicks off the iframe and Plunker to run all the code.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
Is there? How do we?
Source doc?
Right.
Actually, this might.
No, I don't think you want to reset source doc because there's like state that could be taking place here.
Yeah, exactly. We actually want this to not re-render this component, or else we're going to lose. I don't think it'll be a problem. Sorry. Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
we
the
can.
parent component ever re-renders when it's trying to send a message to the iframe and it causes this to re-render, we might just have to cache this eventually and like only update this, not on every render, but only if like the config has changed or whatever, you know?
I think we should cross that bridge when we get there because
Totally.
really, it's not even about like this code. It's about telling the Mirage server to like use some set instance and not reset itself.
Right. Yep.
Because we do want there will be times where we just want like components to re-render and.
Yep. Window post message. I think it's probably a similar thing where we set up a
Yeah, so we have examples of posting out of the iframe.
Mm-hmm. Pop up, receive message, add listener message. So
cool. Let's
window top post message.
Yep.
Window. Okay, so we might have to get a handle of the instance of the iframe instance so that we can call post message on it. So we might need to use a ref to get a handle on it.
Okay. There's not like, is there just like a generic message passing system with all windows where you can just put a message out there and then any window can choose to respond to it?
Let's see. So in our iframe shell, we're going to say add event listener message.
Function, and just do it. Yeah, function.
Log. This is iframe receiving message over. And now we want to try to send a message. So target window dot post message. A reference to the window that will receive the message. Methods for obtaining it: window open, window opener, window parent, or window frame.
Okay, well, look at window parent, a reference to the parent window from within an embedded iframe. So it sounds like that's what we want.
Well, but this is for sending the message.
Oh, whoops. Whoops. Yeah.
I think we can just get it from
From a ref.
I think so.
I'm going to Google if there's a way to like just post to all windows.
Yeah, send post message between iframes and windows. How about React? Send post to iframe. Iframe window. I'm guessing we're going to have to go down this point, but yeah, he can just call parent. Is that what we do right now in the shell? Window top. Iframe. Okay, you can Google that. I'll just start working on this.
Yeah.
Sandbox, source doc. Sandbox ref. Let sandbox ref equals react.use ref.
You can also use event.source. So when...
Oh, if I handle a message, I could store it or something.
Exactly. The iframe, when it boots, can post a message. It's like, I've been initialized. And then the window can receive a message and say event.source. I think ref, let's go with ref. That's like super clear in React.
The only thing, though, is that you could imagine us sending a message from the iframe once it's ready to receive messages, which is not necessarily when React's appended it to the DOM.
Yeah, absolutely. There is some lag between when you render and when I can actually start responding to requests.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't we start with the ref?
Yeah.
Will the ref even get us what we want? Actually, let's see. We can just try right in the thing. Target window dot post message. So if I come here and I find the iframe, I grab it. $0 dot post message.
I actually think I think we're going to have troubles with the ref for now because we're dealing with a markdown file. So how do we get the ref into the...
No, the iframe. No. The iframe is this guy right here. It's a React element.
Oh, okay. Yep. So you can do like the forwarding ref thing.
But my question is,
There's a better way to do this. You can do Google React Forward Ref. It's like just a cleaner API, so you don't have to pass in sandbox ref. You can treat the sandbox as if it's like a sandbox, and you don't care about... You're just giving a ref to the sandbox component.
okay, I believe you. Let me just try something really quick because I want to see if this is even going to help us. Man, I hate this. Doesn't always work. Like, really bothers me. It's in scope. It's just not.
Oh yeah. Also too, I was like, just general question I had is like, is there a way you can just not optimize whatever's going on here?
I know.
And just
have it be correct. See, I don't know if we can set post message from this thing. This is the real DOM node. Like,
Okay, so do
I think there must be an API for actually getting the window object from an iframe instance.
console.dir instead of console.log, console.dir sandbox ref.
Content window.
Content window, yeah. There might even be a window property, but it might be content window.
Today I learned. That's pretty nifty, man. Content.dir. That's awesome. Returns a window object of an iframe element. Okay, so we should be able to do .current
Check the
window post
okay.
message. Oh wait, content window post message. Boom. Sweet.
Nice.
Okay. Let me learn about this thing that you just told me about. React forwarding ref. I don't like using any more APIs in React than I absolutely have to. And there's like, you can build an entire application with like 3 APIs, and it's beautiful.
I'm actually looking at the docs, and I'm wondering if we should just be doing what you did.
Ref forwarding is a technique for automatically passing a ref through a component to one of its children. This is typically not necessary for most components in the application. However, it can be useful for some kinds of components, especially in reusable libraries. Most common scenarios are below. Forwarding refs to DOM components. Consider a fancy button. React components hide their implementation details, including the rendered output. Other components usually will not need to retain a ref, right? Encapsulation, although such is desirable, blah, 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 blah. In the example below, to obtain a ref, you have to pass it in, prop drill it in, and then you can get it.
Which isn't this, so this is our problem, but this isn't really that bad.
Right. So where's like the solution? Wait. Did they already show the solution? I missed it.
No, maybe that's it. Maybe the solution is what we did.
Let some components take a ref they receive and pass it further down. Why is that a special thing? Why does this have a special name?
Oh, because I guess it's not a prop. It's a ref.
Forward ref. Oh, to obtain the ref pass to it. So, I see. So, yeah, we don't need to do this, but this lets you do this. So, right here, when we render the sandbox, instead of passing in a sandbox ref prop, we can do ref equals like this.
Which is what I think we should do.
And then
right, because I think we should do this. I mean, even though like we're not library authors, like the way that you pass a ref,
it's just a level of abstraction. I think I think we should do iframe ref, because sandbox can get more complicated, and this is just keeping it super explicit. Our sandbox right now is just rendering an iframe, but it might not in the future. What do you think about?
And then you're saying if you have another element that we're rendering that you also want to get a ref to,
exactly,
then this lets us call like div ref or something like that.
Exactly. Let's not.
Yeah, I mean, I get
forward ref right now.
I know you're allergic to React APIs, but this is, I mean, it is nice that you can say like, I have an inspector. It's a HTML element, and you can interact with it like you interact with other HTML elements in React.
The problem is we're not. Yes, I agree, but the problem is we're not abstracting away from iframes right now. If we got a sandbox ref, we would just end up calling iframe APIs on it, like content window. So if we got to a point where this was a reusable abstracted thing, and that would be the way to do it, But yes, it's a cool API. Cool. Okay. So, all right. I think we know what we need to do. Iframe ref. And how do we send a message? Post message. So we basically just do this weird thing. We're getting close, man. This is exciting.
Yeah.
So from REPL, let's call it. This is like a horrible name. We should fix this while we're here, huh? This is from inspector. And from REPL, let's say from sandbox. How about that?
Yep. Yep.
From REPL. Replace from sandbox. How do I actually do the thing that I want to do? I'm so glad that this icon was here.
Hit enter.
I think it did it, but it's just like.
Oh, it did it.
What?
No, it didn't. I think you have to hit enter.
Am I an idiot? It's showing me the diff. I think this is. I don't trust any piece of software anymore.
Are you you're restarting?
I restarted code, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and close this one. I do miss feeling really good about my editor, I gotta say. Dude, what's going on?
Where are those icons up top? Top left.
This is insane. Yes, there we go. Why was that so hard?
What did you end up clicking?
I have no idea. I literally don't even know. And I just dismissed a bunch of tutorials that, like, I don't even know what's going on right now. All right.
Also, at this point, it would be faster to just manually edit.
Message E. From inspector, true. Type. Okay, so this is request.
Yeah.
And then the message is going to be like an object with like method and URL, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cool, man.
And we'll have to do like body and stuff for posts, but we can get there. Also, like, I think we're like prefixing our things with like Mirage :
Yeah.
And sometimes
Up here, yeah. Yep. Mirage DB. Yep. Mirage request. Oh, this is us sending a message. Okay, that's fine. We'll keep it like that. Okay, so now we need to add a handler here. So like this.
exactly that. Yep.
Listener, basically just this part, really. Add event listener. Oh, we already have a message. Oh, we already did this. Cool.
All right, so we should see this.
Let's go ahead and kill that guy. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Do 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 do.
Do you think it's a streaming software? Like when you work on the app, it's not this bad, right?
I think the initial build is pretty bad.
The initial build is okay.
The database is empty. No, it's not. There we go. That took a while. See, that took a long time. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There was a long delay there. You weren't paying attention to me. Users, enter. Awesome. Iframe receiving the message over. Sweet.
Cool. Let's see if we can log the method in URL.
We want something like this. I guess data. It's going to be if data from inspector. If, I guess we do like a switch or something. Be like the cool kids. The cool kids. On what? How do I do this? Data dot.
I hate switch statements.
Mirage. What do we just do? Mirage request.
Yeah, Mirage request. Yep.
Is this?
Also, is it data or do you have to destructure data? Is it data or event?
Wait, I just messed something up.
Yep.
I think it's just
Go back.
data.
Go back to the other file.
Oh, data. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Log data. Log request. Request. So
Cool.
Oh, and then message is the actual data.message is the actual message.
Cool.
So let method URL equals data.message.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can do basically what I did in my other thing. Let me pull up the other thing here, I think.
I mean, we're basically going to make a fetch request here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's going to be like this. And we're going to, do all this stuff. But yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's just do it. Fetch. We should see the console log.
Yeah, fetch. I mean, fetch URL for now. Let's just do a get request. Yeah, method. Yeah.
Let's come back to the request and set this back to get. This is exciting, Peter. Users.
Man, I know it's a lot of code, but this is where like the
so cool.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
This was where the Node APIs would be awesome.
What? Why?
I don't know. Fetch feels like a weird indirection thing.
What would the Node? How would the Node APIs help us? We're running code in an iframe in the browser.
Like handle request.
Oh, yeah.
Just having like a better understanding of that stuff.
Not even Node API. You just mean.
Yeah. I'm using
handle.
Node as a proxy for
right. Totally, man. Dude, handle's great. Serialize server, both really great things. And yes, and being able to be isolated. Yeah, not monkey patching the global, anything global. Not even worrying about XML, HTTP request or fetch. Just being able to interact with the server.
Mm-hmm.
This is so cool, man. This is so cool. Wait, I can only do one request.
Oh, we need like some.
Why? What does it mean? 14 errors. Don't tell me I have an error. It's something's being swallowed. Let's handle this actually. I think we need like this thing. Fetch dot catch e console.error. I'm almost curious, like, does it really rebuild this? I don't know.
Are you sure that
No users, no thing. Users, get it. It stops working.
yeah, let's put a console log in handle request in tutorial.js. We have like a handle request.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that guy?
Right here.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, let's do like console log to make sure we're getting this is actually being called.
Got you.
And then it probably is, and then we can just keep going down the. Keep going down the rabbit hole to find what's not.
Right. Oh.
Might help to.
Oh yeah, it's not getting called again. On request, handle request. It's just because there's an error that's happening and it's causing the program to stop working. There's an error right here, but we're not seeing it. It's like it's an async error, or it's a you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What is this false thing? Do we use that when we send this message?
Yeah,
we do.
I remember we talked about this last time. It's something about the event.
Post message.
Okay, let's get rid of the fetch call and see if this error goes away.
Wait, we don't.
But we don't know. No, the false is on the event listener.
Event listener. Okay, message, handle message. We're not using that. I think we did go through this, but then we removed it for some reason. Users. Still having an error. Why can't we see the error anywhere?
Well, let's do that. Let's get rid of the fetch call and just then we'll know is it fetch.
Yep. Log request for data.message, right?
No. Gonna need a comma there.
Oh. Okay. This is pretty exciting, man. Love that big logo. It's a cool feature. Okay. So it's definitely something with this thing. Catch.
Oh, catch. Wait, hold on. Do dot then. Do dot then and then catch, because fetch sometimes fetch errors like 500s won't show up as a as a catch error because it's like something you can handle. Yeah.
Interesting, Peter. Interesting.
Also, dude, why are we using a switch statement?
Because we're trying to be like the cool kids. There's still an error. I don't know what's happening. I love how this Chrome clearly knows that my code is erroring, and it even knows enough to show me that there's been 5 errors, but it refuses to show me anything about.
You can't see my screen, but see the text that says top?
Can you draw something on my screen?
No, because we're using Skype.
Skype is made by Microsoft.
See the thing that says top underneath console?
I really wish you could just
yeah,
right here. Oh.
No. Yep. Change this to Find about src doc. Find the iframe. You should be able to find the iframe in this.
You find the iframe.
Yeah, I think it's about src doc. No, okay. I was thinking maybe we would get some insight into the iframe.
If anyone knows how to view these mother effing errors, that would be super helpful. Okay. Oh, let's look over here because we had some more. I had some more. Oh, also.
Oh, open up the Mirage. Open up the Mirage
I'm also
thing.
rebinding. It might have been my fault. Where's the console.error? My on error. Post message. Runtime error. We might be getting a message and not handling it. Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Let's. Oh man, love that. If let's just get rid of all this. Else log other message. Data. I bet this is what it is. Requests are not blocked. Request blocking. It's kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait,
so you could like.
What was that message I just saw? Yeah, you can like block requests, I guess, from your at the browser level. Oh, from sandbox true success. I think that's actually the initialization. Yeah, I already have this. Oh, this is like after indexes. Yeah, this is basically what we want. Like when Mirage is like Plunker has run and Mirage is ready to start receiving requests and stuff. So we might end up using that. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's try this again. Damn. Let's put a log out here and see if we're getting any messages. Well, let's log message. Come to our iframe shell here. Default switch. Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Also, doesn't when you get a second, I want to run something.
Unhandled rejection. The reason all this stuff is here is because I spent a while getting the error handling stuff reporting working. So we are going to bring that back.
Yep. Does Mirage's server doesn't it have its own way of handling errors? Does it always throw?
It's very inconsistent and bad right now.
So there, it could be being swallowed in there. And then also too, I would open up the Mirage 200 get users and like, do we see like a request and response?
This is correct actually because there's no request body.
Okay. Yep. And we see the response.
Uncaught. Failed to execute post message in a window. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Good call, dude. Here, let's refresh this.
I know I said that, and I want to sound smart right now, but I can you explain that to me because I don't know what just happened.
Oh, I don't either. I just happened to look at this and look at this. There's all this stuff. I'm just saying we found it. I want to eat an entire pizza tonight. Is that possible for me to do that?
Where are you going to get a pizza from?
Hey, man.
Are the pizza places open?
They deliver. They definitely deliver. Okay, let's check this out. Failed to execute post message on window. Pretender handled request. Okay, where's handled request? Right here. Oh. Wait a second. Original.
Dude, I wonder if Pretender uses, like, is there like a messaging system in Pretender that?
I think I started doing this, but this is like literally scratch work, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
But that should still work. I don't see what's...
Also, let's do some quality of life improvements. Let's default URL to users.
Yeah. Handled request. Failed to execute post message on window. In the dot then. Other message. Log. In the dot then. In the dot then. Right here.
Yeah, but the error might be coming from before then, and the fake request might be expecting to post its own message somewhere. Like, we don't know that this is like our code or Pretender, so we should figure that out. Like, click the pretender.handle request dev.jspm.io link.
Oh wait, it might be the logging. Let me just comment this out for now.
Mm-hmm.
Window.top. Wait, no, that's what we've been doing. Come on, man, we got this. We were doing so good. What do you say? You want me to make this users?
Yeah.
Spell correctly. I know how to write quotes. I know. All right. I love that big logo feature of development. That's great. In the dot then. No error. It was one of those stupid things. Sorry, it's my fault.
Wait, well, can you go back? Just can you explain that? So it was all those.
You think
You
a
had like
Mirage server can handle 10,000 requests a second like Node servers can?
yeah.
It's running on JavaScript, asynchronous I/O, man. I just haven't updated this to use our new thing yet, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll add this back in piecemeal as we need it.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Let me get rid of all these logs. I'm yawning over here, man. You're not keeping me entertained.
Yeah, I gotta eat, dude. I am so low energy right now.
Super hungry too. I know. How long have we been going?
About 2 hours, 2.5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that styling that input field, that's a doozy. I'm also.
Can you? Energy. Yeah, let's take a break because usually we're higher energy. So okay, fine. Let's get this working.
Step
and then
it up,
we can.
Man. Next time you see me yawn, just get the gun that you have behind your desk and just pop do it office pop like in the other guys. Office pop. Come on, office pop. That'll wake me up. Oh my gosh. Okay, where is this log coming from? Because it's bothering me.
Oh, because you have all levels shown.
Right here in the dot then. Okay. So okay, let's just go back. Let's just wind the clock back a little bit here. Other message. Other message. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. We don't care about that right now. So what do we want to do with this? Oh, we want to display it in the response. Let's just get it into some state. And
let's console log it.
Let's console log it. Yeah. Tutorial. Handle message from sandbox.
Yeah. So let's do if type
data not type is
Mirage response.
Oh yeah.
And then just console.log data.message.
log over here. Data.message. Office pop, Ryan. Office pop.
What is this? What is this from?
Gotta keep this going. Remember
What is this
other
from?
guys, a movie with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell? I think it was an Office pop.
I haven't seen. I know that movie. I haven't seen it. Where they're like,
Dude, you gotta
Will
watch
Ferrell's
that
like
movie. You
a
gotta watch
giant
that
nerd.
movie, man.
He's like a giant nerd
Oh,
or
Desk Pop.
something.
Yes. You just lagged. There's
Oh my
no way
God,
I
your
can play
computer.
this. Yeah, the computer's dying. Office Desktop. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Desktop. Yeah, Will Ferrell is like a retard, and they get him to. They're like showing him that he got his gun back or whatever, and like just give us a desktop. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, just pop one off. Like give it a little, like warm it up a little bit. And he's like, I can't do that. He's like, yeah, sure you can. And he's like, James did it, right? Yeah, I did it. Of course I did it. Everyone does it. Come on, desktop. And he like shoots the gun. And they all start laughing, and the commissioner comes out and just like takes the gun away. He has like a wooden pistol for the rest of the movie. It's so funny. Desktop. Oh my gosh, that movie is hilarious. You gotta watch it. Okay. Tutorial. Handle message. Console log message. Type here. Triple equals. Come on, desktop Ryan, I'm hungry. Handling response. Okay, so we haven't sent it yet. So fetch. So this is where we need to do the okay, so
let response equals.
yeah, so do we do that, or do we what I did when I originally built this was you can see I co-opted the logging here, because like if you, I guess no, like what I'm trying to say is, yeah, we just want to send the response up.
I think so. I think like responses are generally really easy to serialize because it's how the web works. And I say really easy, but we both know that, this is going to take us 4 hours.
Yeah, we got this, man. We got this. Okay. Sure. Let's just do that, and then we'll call it fetch dot then response.json. This is not going to work. I mean, forever, because it could be like text responses and stuff.
Yeah, this is funny enough. It's like very close to the Cypress quick start guide, and that's been tweaked a few times by various people. And so that one is closer to, has a lot more battle testing. It like inspects the headers. It figures out which thing to read off the response object based off the response header. So if it's like application JSON, it does all that stuff. Yeah. And also too, I don't think that's all the way there.
Right. Right. Let's make a little thing here. Function.
Also,
send message. Type in message.
Yeah. And it can also, I would make type. Could we do 2 different arguments? So like type is a string and then message is data.
That is what I'm doing.
No, you're doing a single argument. For the signature of send message.
You mean like this?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I know. Every time I've ever made an API that does this, I always.
You want to add new.
Yeah, exactly.
Add new things.
Let's start with this.
Yeah, I think this is more, constraints.
I agree. No test, dude. Cowboy coding, no types. Loving this. I'm actually coding in a markdown file, so it's even better. This is how we roll here. Doing it live. Send message. Success. No
Dude,
data. No.
dude, we're gonna be able to write some awesome Cypress tests here. Some like
Really?
really awesome tests. Yeah, we have Cypress in this app, so we should be able to just visit this URL, fill in this config, and run this request.
That would be awesome. All right. Oh, that's funny, right? I call that from within this. Okay. Fake code within. Okay, so dot then. This is actually good because then I can just leave the console logging there. Send message response JSON response JSON, right? It's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. Do we do like Mirage response? Mirage colon response.
I guess we should do that for all these then, huh?
Yeah, but we want to send. Oh, you're saying like even like runtime error would be
It's
Mirage
fine.
runtime error.
I guess so. Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's probably some deep lesson here that we're not realizing.
The reason I did it originally is because React was
like hot module reload.
I feel like Will Ferrell can't even sit in my desk chair. It's ridiculous, man. My boomstick just tried to murder me. Pulled my headphones and it started choking me with my headphones because it's too. My mic is too heavy for the stand. So, React's dev server does like hot module reloading or something, and so when I first started adding a message listener from the parent, it was like everything broke because I was like intercepting all messages. So I was like, I guess I should be safe and like prefix them, namespace them somehow. So that's what I did.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Mirage response, JSON. Okay. Else if, yeah. All right. We should get something. Handling response. There it is.
Wow.
All right. Let's just get this in some state, dude. Really quick.
Yep.
Let response data. Really, it's going to be the whole response.
Yeah, you're right. Response.
Why don't we sent the whole? Oh, but we'll get to do our own thing here. We'll get to make our own thing. We can just response code. Yeah. How do you get the code from this thing?
I think it's like res. It might be res.code or res.status.
Cool.
Also async await, bro.
Let's do one thing at a time. Set. Okay, so response. This is what I ended up doing in the inspector. React.use state. It's like an object. Response panel. Let's just start with like a pre and like response dot data. Handle response. Wait, how do we response? Handling response. Okay. This whole thing should just be the response. Data.message. And this, we're going to send it. Data as a JSON. How do I get access to res right here?
Async await.
How do I do that? I have to make a new thing?
This you can on line 68 just prefix this with like the word async, prefix function with the word async, and then now you can say let res equals await fetch. Yeah, this is really good. I really like these APIs. And then new line yeah.
Way better.
Yep.
Does that really work?
Yep. Now I know you're not using the return value of this function. This function is just for event handling, but this would change the signature of the return value. Like this would now return a promise. So if you were using this to like return some Pojo, now you'd have to like go update the call sites. Res.status.
And then headers. Boom.
And headers,
Yeah,
I don't
that's what I'm
know
saying.
if headers is serializable, so we might have to
I
do.
did it over here.
Okay. I know in the Cypress thing we had to do this weird, like if
Request
res.headers.map.
response headers. Response. Oh, I got it from the request object on handled request.
Ew, cool.
But if it's right here, it's fine.
Yeah, I think. Yep.
I think we should use the response.
For
You broke
here,
up. You broke
but
up.
for today, I think I'm getting ahead. I think we're gonna have to do some guards, like if response.headers and response.headers.map, and I think you have. You know what? Do this. Pull up the guides. Just pull up the Mirage quick starts for Gatsby and just see what. Sorry, for Cypress. And you can see what we do, because we do this. We do exactly this. Okay, so we just use res.headers. Okay, so res.header. I mean, this is all iframe, so.
Should it be an array, or should we just do array.headers, res.headers.map?
I think res.headers might be. What is res.headers?
It's an object with a map key in it. Let's just do an array of headers.
You mean an object like a Pojo?
An array of Pojos.
No, it's just a single Pojo. You don't need an array.
Name key value. Name value.
But you're never going to have duplicate
logic.
Yeah, just type res.headers.map in console.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. Okay.
And there might even be something on this like actual headers class where we can do like, I don't know. There might be like some serialized method built into it that we can take advantage of. Actually, I'm going to pull up the docs for this.
JSON.stringify value replacer space null 2.
I don't know if this header stuff is how serializable it is. We might have to write a method.
Boom. Just boom.
Nice, you got it.
I just miraged you, bro. I'm about to delete you. Ready? Are you ready for this? I didn't expect that would work. It did delete
nice.
You.
No, it didn't. I still see my name there.
Wait, 204. Doesn't that mean deleted?
Yeah, we have to do the handle request.
Yeah.
And then send the DB back.
Exactly. See, that's why I think we should probably use handled request for everything and just use that one place to send the response and the new DB. Right? Anyways, I can barely think right now. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it is nice that like. I think we should let like the use cases of the UI that we're building drive this, because,
this is so cool.
Yeah, we might just want like more data from like the actual response from fetch.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was cool.
Hot reloading does sometimes really impress me, no question. That was really neat. It just added the code right there, and like the state was maintained. That's pretty cool. Oh, Ryan's dead.
I still see my name there.
So freaking cool, man. Patch users 1.
Cool. So we got to get the body.
Yep. and the error handling and all that good stuff. I keep killing Ryan. I didn't mean to. Sorry. It's awesome, man. It's really, really cool. Oh man, this is gonna be so nice. Just paste in a config, share some stuff. Okay, I think we are going to wrap up. That was a nice little 2 hour and 40-minute sesh.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do this every Tuesday.
It's not a bad idea. It
I'll-
seems pretty good.
Yeah.
I should commit this.
Yeah. So that
Say
yeah.
that again. You were laggy.
Before your computer melts. Do you have access to like this recording? Because there were some good bits in here that we could like cut up and post.
Yes, I will trim it, but then also it does make a local copy. It saves it. So yeah, I totally agree.
Oh, it does.
Highlights of the show.
Yeah. The whole not Flexbox relative positioning thing.
Yes.
Awesome 5-minute clip right there.
Totally. Front end first highlights. Front end first TV.
Hell yeah.
Highlights. Let's do it.
Nice.
Handle. Send response from sandbox to inspector. Beth, we are both in New York City. So it is 3:58 right now, but we're doing a couple things new here pretty soon. We have a podcast where we traditionally have talked about Ember, but over the last year have talked about more broadly front end first, like front end topics only. So we're rebranding the podcast to Front End First. And we also want to experiment more with this kind of stuff where we're doing live streaming and making more content and just branching out a little bit. So we want to do this more regularly and talk about everything from React and Mirage and everything we're learning. So we also have some ideas for like a front end first TV kind of thing where we do more of a prepared show that's going to be more like 10 or 20 minutes long. But this is kind of our way of experimenting with that. So yeah, if you want to know when we're going to be live again, I think if you can get notified if you follow me on YouTube. And I think we're definitely going to do this next week, maybe even before. But I think a weekly thing to start would be awesome. So I had fun. Hope you all had fun. Beth, thanks so much for the commentary and sticking with us. That was fun to have someone else out there. You know, I get pretty sick of Ryan, to be honest with you. So literally anybody else would be a salvation. So thanks so much for joining us. One more step closer to the inspector. I think next time, what should we do next time? Basically style this.
Yeah, style that, like get post requests working.
Bring in the tabs here. And then get, get another instance of CodeMirror right here for the request body.
Oh, cool. So you use CodeMirror to format that JSON.
Oh, yeah. This is the only reason I used it here because it was such a pain. It was so funny, man. Like
to like space, enter.
It was like completely not usable, you know?
Super cool.
So, yeah, this is really cool because you can just go post and you can go boom, name, user name. I literally just had to think about what your name was. It's pretty bad. if you
Thanks,
watch
buddy.
the playback, my eye goes like this. My brain is like, wait, who am I talking to?
You need some food there.
Well, I'm on this eating challenge, so. All right, let's signing off here. See y'all next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
See ya.